Welcome to my channel, Click and Design. Let's get started.
So in today's video, we are going to learn about parametric hangers for ductwork. For that, we'll create a new family. For that, in the families, click on new, and then from the templates, you have to select metric template. So here we have metric generic model. Select it and click on open. So here we have the template. Let's open the project browser a little wider, and now you have to click on the front view. So here we have the front view. Now let's create the cross section for the duct. For that, I will go to create, select extrusion, and then select rectangle. Just randomly create a rectangle, okay, and then give a random extrusion end and click on OK. So here we have the extrusion, or you can say the cross section of the duct. Now we have to give the parameters to it. For that, you have to go to create, select reference line, and now let's create some vertical reference line, okay, and now let's create the align dimension for this. So here we have equilateral constraint, and now let's give a dimension, okay. So let's click over this dimension, and now let's create a new parameter from this dimension. So this will be the width of the duct, okay. So let's create the parameter, and the name will be duct width, okay. And now click on instance and OK. Now what we have to do, we have to align the reference line with the body. So select the reference line and the body and lock them. Same here. Now we have to define the duct height. For that, again let's go to create, select reference line, and then let's create them horizontally. Okay, now let's select align dimension and create equilateral parameter as shown. Okay, now let's create the dimension between the two lines. Select this dimension and then go to create parameter, duct height. Click on instance. Okay, now let's align them. So for align, use the align command, and now select the reference line, the body, lock them. Reference line and the body, and lock them. So now you can see here we have the duct height and the duct width. Now let's open the parameters, and you can see here we have the duct height and the duct width. So let's change the height from here, let it be 500, and the duct width, let it be, let's say 700, okay, and click on apply. Okay, and you can see the parameters are working fine, okay. The height has been changed, the duct width has been changed accordingly. Okay, now let's open the 3D view. One thing more, before opening the 3D view, let's open the reference level under the floor plans. From here you can see this is the width of the duct cross section. So let's create a parameter for this width also. Let's go to create, use reference line, and let's create some horizontal reference line. Okay, and now let's select the line dimension. Let's create equilateral parameter and then the dimension. And now let's create a parameter for this dimension. Let it be A. And now instance parameter, okay. Now use align command again. Before that I will like to change it to edit view so that we can see this cross section easily. Select the line command, select the reference line and the body and lock them. Now again the reference line, the body and lock them. Okay, now let's change the parameter A. Let's change the value. So here we have the parameter A. Let's make it 20. Apply, and you can see the parameters are working fine with the constraints. And now let's open the 3D view, and here you can see in the 3D view it is very hard to see the cross section because of this annotations. So for that you can change the scale. So let's change this. Here you can see, here we have the cross section, make it shaded. So here we have the cross section. Okay, that's fine. So now let's add some more specifications to this cross section. For that, let's go to create. In the create tab you will see duct connector. Select this duct connector. Okay, and here you have to select face, place on face. Okay, first of all let's select this front face. Okay, and then rotate your cross section and select the second face. Okay, now you can see we have placed the duct connector on both the sides of this cross section. Press escape. Okay, now let's select this first pointer or the arrow, and then here you can see in the properties we have this height and width. In front of height you have to select this associate family parameter, and then you have to select the duct height parameter which we have created just. Click on OK, and then same with the width, duct width. Okay, now let's go to different side, select this arrow, and then same process will repeat. And click on OK. So here right now we have created two connectors and have given the parameters to them. Okay, now let's change the style to be wireframe. Okay, now select this first connector, and in the modify tab you will see this option primary connector. Select this command and then select link connectors. Okay, and then select the second connector. Okay, and now if you will select any of the connector you will see there will be a link between two of them. Okay, so here we have the link which we have just created with the help of link connectors. Okay, with the help of remove link you can also remove the links and reassign the links between connectors. Okay, so the link has been placed between them. Okay, now this was about the cross section. Now let's create the support hangers. For that, let's go to the left side of the elevation, and here you can see here we have the cross section of the duct. Now go to create, select extrusion, and then here we have to create the cross section of the hanger. For that, let's draw the cross section as shown. So right now I am creating this cross section randomly without use of any parameters. Okay, and now let's select this cross section, and with the help of mirror command mirror this cross section. So here we have the cross section, and now let's click on OK for the extrusion. So it is now extruded. Now let's open the floor plan or the reference level, and here you will see this the bottom, this is the hanger support. So right now let's create some parameters for this. We'll go to create reference line. Now let's create some vertical reference line. Okay, and now let's create the dimensions. First of all, create the equilateral constraint between the two lines, and now we'll give a dimension. Okay, and select this dimension, go to create parameter, and let the name of the dimension or the parameter will be support length. Okay, it will be instance parameter. Click on OK. So this parameter has been created. Now we have to align the body to this parameter. Select the align command, select the reference line, and you will see here in the bottom we have this support. Select this support, and now click on this lock to lock them. Again this side, select the line, and now let's select the support, and now lock them. Okay, now let's go to the family types, and here we have support length. Now let's create a relation between the duct width and the support length. So let it be so let's create a formula for that. So here we write duct width space plus space. So let's create a formula. The support length will be equal to the duct width plus, let's say, 50 mm. On each side will be 25 mm. So apply. Okay, so let's open the 3D view, and let's make the view to create mode. And now we can see here we have the support at the bottom of the duct. Okay, now let's go to the front, and now so this is the front view of the cross section. So now what we are going to do, we are going to select the align command, and we are going to align this support to the duct. For that, select this reference line and select this extrusion. Okay, and click on OK. Now let's go to the 3D view again. Okay, so here we have this 3D view. Okay, everything looks fine. I think we should increase this length a little more. For that, we'll go to the family types again, and then here we have the support length. Let's make it 70 and apply and OK, and you can see the length has been increased accordingly. Now the support has been created. Now we need to create the hangers. Okay, the rods basically. For that, I will go to the front view again, and what I'm going to do is to create a plane. For that, go to create a reference plane, and now let's create a reference plane somewhere here. Okay, so here we have the reference plane. Select this plane, and you can give a name to it. So let it be plane number 1. Okay, now go to create, select, now you have to select the solid revolve, select revolve, and then set work plane. From here you have to pick the name of the plane. So we will choose this reference plane 1. Click on OK, and you have to choose the elevation, which view you want to see. So let's say left view. Open the view, so it will open the left view for you. So here we have the left view. Okay, and now I will create a contour body, or you can say the contour section. So let's start. So I'm randomly creating a section of the rod basically. Okay, now I have just created a rectangle about this center line, and I will try to revolve this rectangle about the center line to create a cylinder. And now let's choose the axis line. For this, select the axis line and let's select this center line. Okay, and now click on OK, and you will see we have just created a cylinder. Let's see this view, make it edit. Let's see this in 3D better. So here we have the cylinder. Okay, and the same process we have to do, we have to repeat it over here. For that, again let's open the front view, and now we have to create a plane over here. For that, go to create, select reference plane. Let's create a reference plane over here. The parameters I will assign later on. So here we have the reference plane created. Select the plane and click to name, let it be number. Click the plane and let it be number 2. Okay, now what we need to go to create, revolve, set work plane. Now this time we have to select the plane 2. Okay, open any of the view. Now let's create again the cylinder. For that I will use the boundary line, and now make the wireframe mode on. Now replicate this cylinder accordingly. So the contour body, the contour section has been created. Now let's select the axis line. Here we have the axis line and click on OK. So the cylinder has been created on this side also. Let's open the 3D view, and you can see both the cylinders have been created. Now let's create the parameters. For that, let's go to the front view. Now let's create the parameter. For that, now select align dimension. Let's select the aligned dimension for the equilateral constraint between those two reference plane. And now one time more, select both the reference plane and let's give a parameter to them. So for that, select this dimension, go to create parameter, and then let's give a name to it. So it will be distance between the rods. Okay, so this is the parameter, will be instance. Okay, and now let's create a relation between the duct width and the distance between the rods. For that, we'll go to the family types. Here you will see the distance between the rods 730. So let it be. Now let's create a formula: duct width base plus duct width base, let's say 50. Apply. Okay, now you can see here we have the rods and the relation has been created. One thing we can do, we can decrease the distance between the rods. Let's go back and let's make it about 30. Apply. Okay, again. So now Pretty good. Okay, now I feel that this gap or this length is very less for this rod. So let's increase this length. For that, we'll go to the family types and we have this support length over here. Let's increase this length. Let's make it 100. Apply and okay. Now you can see the length has been increased. Now accordingly increase the length or the distance between the rods. For that, go to family types again, and here we have the distance between the rods. So let's make it let's say 50. Okay, apply. Okay, now everything looks perfect. Now let's create a parameter for the length of these rods. For that, we'll go to create. Let's create a reference line again. Here we have the reference line. Now let's create a parameter. For that, I will select align dimension. Okay, now select this dimension, create parameter. Now let's create the height of the rods. Okay, and now this will be instance parameter. Click on OK. So what we have to do, we have to select the line command, select the line and select the edge of this rod and lock them accordingly. Same process, escape, select the line and the edge, 3D edge, and lock them. Now let's open the 3D view. So here we have the 3D view. I think we are done with the parameters. Okay, so one thing more, how to save this family. For that, we'll go to this family categories, and then here we have to select the duct fittings. We are going to create a duct fitting right now. The category will be duct fitting for this particular hanger. Okay, and the part type we are going to choose union. And then one thing more, it should be always vertical, it should be checked. Click on OK and then click on save. Now let's save it somewhere. So let's the name be duct hanger duct hanger, and then let's save it. So the hanger has been saved. Now let's create a new project. For that, again let's go to file, new, and let's choose the template. So let's choose system default metric template, open it. Okay, open. Now we will create a variety of ducts. To check this hanger is working or not, select systems, select duct. So let's start with a small duct, 200. Create it. So here we have this duct. Let's create some more, 300 into 2. Now let's say 500, 300. Okay, let's choose some more cross sections. Take this 1000 and 450. So we have made some ducts. Now let's bring the family into this project. For that, we'll go to insert, we'll load family, and here we have the duct hanger. Open it. Now let's open the 3D of this project. Here we have the 3, and here you can see the ducts. Now we'll go to the systems and we'll select the duct fittings, and you will see we have here the duct hanger. Now let's place the duct hanger. Duct hanger is working fine, but the problem is with this rods. Okay, we have to set the parameters for this rods also. For that, let's select this family and let's go to the edit family. And now let's open the front view. Now you can see here we have this rod. We have to align it. So let's use align command and let's use this edge and this edge and align them. And same with the different side. Select this edge and this edge. Okay, and lock them. Save the family and load into project and close. The family has been loaded. Override the existing version and parameter. Click over it. So you will see the rods have been aligned. Now let's again insert the family into the project. Let's go to systems, duct fittings, and now let's create some hangers. After placing the hangers, you can adjust the height of these rods also. You can select any of the hanger, and in the properties you can see here we have the height of the rods. So you can whether increase or decrease it. As you can see, accordingly you can increase or decrease the height of the hangers. Just select any of the hanger, and from the properties here you will see height of the rods. You can now change the value whichever you want, and the height can be increased or decreased accordingly. So this was all about creating hangers in Revit. I hope you liked this video. Thank you very much for watching.